people are probably going to ask me why I start my YouTube channel off like this and not an introductory video. Well, that's because Mega Man X3 is about to turn 30 years old, and unlike all my other favorite games of all time, I'm lucky enough for not only this to be my favorite game ever, but to catch its 30th anniversary, like I said, unlike the other games. So I'm making a review on it, saying why it's my favorite game ever, why I feel like people should respect it as much as Mega Man X1 and 2, how I can not really change how people feel about the game, but why I feel how I do about the game, and yeah, we'll go about that with some special surprises and some pretty cool things later in the video. Stick around to see why I love this game so much. Sorry, I want to go all out and just say how much I love this game. This game has got me through some pretty tough crap throughout my life. I had a pretty garbage ex, not gonna lie. And, well, school's been really hard. That's all I can say with many different people. And what game do I keep coming back to? Well, that's of course Mega Man X3. And it's the perfect game ever, at least for me. The reasoning is for a multitude of reasons. I'll start off with the story. I suppose I should start off with the story. Well, like it says, the year is 21XX. All the Mavericks have been neutralized thanks to the efforts of a Reploid scientist named Dr. Doppler. I'll just read what the text says in case, just in case you guys don't want to read. Using his neurocomputer, he has been able to suppress any abnormal behavior in the Reploids and prevent them from going berserk. /Maverick. Mavericks come from a virus called the Sigma virus, and this game will explore that later. Many of the most advanced Reploids have gathered near their new mentor and founded Doppeltown, a perfect utopian community. With Dr. Doppler guiding them, the world seemed ready to enter a new golden age. But of course, this ominous music doesn't imply that. After a few months, sorry, just hang in here, guys. This is my first video ever, and I don't know how to edit. And also, I don't have a script. The Mavericks, who were supposed to have been neutralized by the neurocomputer, suddenly appeared and began to riot, because they had become what? Mavericks. At Maverick Hunter headquarters, all the intelligence indicated that Dr. Doppler was the mastermind behind the invasion. Soon, the call went out to Mega Man X and Zero to destroy the invading Mavericks and to bring Dr. Doppler to justice. Maverick Hunter X and Zero dispatch. A few hours later, emergency contact was made by the headquarters of Maverick Hunter. Sorry, I know that text looks really blurry. That's why I'm kind of reading it. Here we go. Now it'll look better because there's multiple stuff on screen. This is the headquarters of Maverick Hunter, being invaded by Doppler's forces. We are under attack from the Doppler force. All units return to base immediately and return fire. Sorry, I know that kind of seemed pointless and very drawn out and very quiet, but I'm trying to do the best I can here with what I have. So, Mega Man X3 is chronologically the fourth game in the series, the first being Mega Man X, then Mega Man X2, and then Mega Man X Dream on the Game Boy. Mega Man X was released on the Super Nintendo in 1994. Mega Man X2, these are American days, by the way. Mega Man X2 was released in America in 1995. And then, of course, this game was released on January 4th, 1996 in America. What day is it of recording? Jeez, man, that's bad. January 2nd. And so, yeah, this is like I said, my project that I'm kind of doing to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Mega Man X3. It's kind of crazy to see that this game's 30 years already, which is funny, because I'm not 30 years old, I can tell you that. I'm 15. But it just seems like a game that's really advanced for its time, and I'll say why, but I can show you here. This is actually a good example. You can play as Zero, which is Mega Man X's best buddy. For anyone wondering about the story, I will do a review on X1 and X2, and you guys will and should go watch those videos after. But I kind of had to do this one first. I don't really know. Like, this game means a lot more to me than I can properly describe. It's got me through some pretty garbage times in my life, I think I've already said. But yeah, this is a really awesome game. The graphics are outstanding. I don't know if you can hear in the background. I'll play it on my boombox if I can. I don't think I can, but the game has a lot of heavy metal guitars and a lot of that sort of stuff for its music choices, which were not the original two games' music styles. For example, Mega Man X had some pretty fast-paced, pretty mellow, not elevator music, but ecstatic, mellow SNES music. That's the best way I can describe it. And then X2 has a lot of people complaining because it has some pretty whiny guitars and sound choice when it comes to its music. And then Mega Man X3, well, people complain because it's all heavy metal guitars. There's not a single moment where this game isn't going crazy with those guitars. Anyway, I could keep going on and on about the music, but really, I don't feel like I need to. It's very, not repetitive for me, but it's just what I always imagined the X series to be, and that's what X3 is entirely for me. It seems like that darker, more industrial feel that the X series always was. That's what this all is. A huge fight amongst robots. You know, like, this isn't some kind of war amongst humans in, like, the 1600s. This is some kind of, like, technology's advancing, we use it for war sort of stuff. This isn't, like, get your guns and go invade different colonies. Like, I never imagined Mega Man X3 to be that. It's always just been so industrial and so, again, metal and headbanging guitars, right? It's nothing crazy like, or it's nothing simple and it's nothing too insane. It's pretty cool, and might I add, we'll get onto this a little later with our special surprise, but the Maverick designs are awesome. They're not silly like anything anywhere near Chill Penguin from X1. He's cool, but he's just not Maverick material, in my opinion. He's not very cool. That's kind of what the X series is and was supposed to be. Cool. It's for the cool kids, not for the 3-year-olds, right? Like, this is a life or death situation. That's what the whole X series was and is still to this day, 20 years after they made Mega Man X8 and Maverick, or Command Mission, that's what it is. And also, that tower in the background, that's a reference. That's Boomer Kawanger's tower, so I'll get into the stage design eventually as well. But there's a lot of... I find it really weird and cringy when they do those sort of things where they're like, we're gonna homage to a game that came out like a year ago. Like, okay, just play the game. You don't need to reference it. But this game does something different, where it references what has already been established in the previous games. For example, Boomer Kawanger, which is one of the previous bosses, was best friends with this guy, whose name is Gravity Beetle. And as you know, he's in an airship. And great, cool. That's Boomer Kawanger's tower in the back. And now this guy's out to kill you because you killed his best friend, that being Boomer Kawanger. Or like, for example, Blast Hornet used to be a Maverick Hunter, only problem is, I'm pretty sure the story goes, that his wings got damaged or something like that, and just, he turned Maverick because people put him aside as not really a powerful Maverick, or Maverick Hunter, and so, yeah, he's kind of getting revenge on the people, and this is his way of doing it. But you see, that's the sort of thing that I love about this game, is that they actually have stories and, like, deep backstories that, you know, they don't just include the kids, the little kiddies playing the game. They're also thinking about the people who, like, what about the people who actually, like, are indulged in the Mega Man X story, who really care about this kind of stuff. And that's something that I just feel is lost in the original two Mega Man X games, and even some later Mega Man X games. That I'd even see some of the classic Mega Man games, forget about X, do themselves. Sometimes they just get really story-driven, and I love it. It's something that they always did really well. Talk about things I love, let's start off with the armor capsules. For example, this is the leg capsule. The leg capsule, for example, sorry, that was a really weird edit, I just realized that Dr. Light was talking. But anyway, the leg armor lets you dash upward and mid-air. And these are the arm parts, which let you combine two charge shots to create one really big charge shot, as we'll see here, lets you climb ladders faster when you have the leg parts, and also lets you charge up your special weapons. I don't know, I love it. However, these are the head parts, which just displays a map and shows secrets that are still missing throughout the stage. There will be a red dot, and that'll tell you where the secret is, and you only get it once per stage. Here, this will be an example for why the weapons are good in the stages, but here is the head parts. Or not the head parts, this is the body part. Sorry, I swear to God, I'm all over myself. Anyway, these are the this is the body armor, so it lets you take 50% less damage that you would normally take. Either that or it's 25, I don't know, Dr. Light tells you. But these are just the sort of things I love in a game, especially when they help you immensely get through the game. Also, you can play as Zero now, which is, not great. I'll tell you guys why. Once every stage, you can select Zero as a playable character. You can only play him for so long until you reach a mini-boss or Zero dies once. If Zero dies once, he can never be played with ever again unless you restart the game, the entire game, yeah, or put in a password to let him stay alive. And then there's also just the fact that he's just you can't fight bosses with him. That's really what kills him, for me at least. He'd be awesome. Yeah, you can glitch him into bosses. I do it all the time because he's awesome to fight bosses with whenever I can. But he just I don't know why they would design it so that he can't fight bosses. Maybe it's for the fact that he can only live once, and if he dies, he's done. But then I just think that's stupid. You could just make him have more than one life. Like, it's convoluted, but I guess lore sense it makes some kind of sense because, you know, Dr. Kane can't always rebuild Zero. But here's an example. You'll try and go into a mini-boss and, oh, look, here comes Mega Man X saying, oh, I'll handle this, Zero. Like, it's stupid, because now I have to fight the boss as X. It's not fun. And now after I kill this mini-boss with Zero, or with X, I can't play with Zero again. And it's so weird, because this mini-boss comes on screen, and then, like, look, there he is, right there, Zero. So, like, why does this happen? In compensation for Zero absolutely being terrible to play, they must have thought of something else in X's favor. That being, these weapons are so good. They are, like, really good. For example, here's the Frost Shield. The Frost Shield you get after defeating Blizzard Buffalo, and it shoots out a tiny little, like, ice missile, and when it comes in contact with enemies that can drop items, it gives you health all the time. Or when you beat Toxic Seahorse, he gives you the weapon, I'm pretty sure it's called Acid Burst, but what it is you shoot out a tiny little bubble of acid, and when you charge it up, it shoots out too, and after it hits contact with the ground, it splits into multiple acid bubbles. I think it's Acid Burst. Acid Burst. And so it doesn't look like it does a lot, but that's because I'm pretty sure it's this weapon. When it hits enemies, like, that can drop items, it always drops weapon energy, which is fantastic. Admittedly, the weapon you get from Tunnel Rhino, which is called Hyper Fang or something like that, Tornado Fang, that's what it's called, is a drill. It's like, yeah, it's just a drill, and you just shoot it forward, and it has a jet on the back of it or whatnot. It's not bad, its damage is terrible, and it's often just used for weapon fodder, or just the weakness to Volt Catfish. Then you go to Volt Catfish, who gives you one of the best weapons, I swear to God, in the entire X series. It's an actual shield. I don't know why Frost Shield's called shield. It's not a shield. But they give you an actual shield, and it's called Triad Thunder, and it wrecks every kind of enemy. It does so much damage. And it's these 3 balls that conduct electricity, and they surround X for a few seconds, and they do insane damage. Then you kind of get the lamely named Spinning Blade from Crush Crawfish, and it's pretty good. It shoots out 2 blades that shoot out right in front of you, and then they boomerang backwards, like you'll see here, and they do a lot of damage if you're able to hit them correctly, which is, it's good for a weapon. It's good for enemies behind you. And then the weapon you get from Neon Tiger is some sort of, like, machine gun that spreads out in several different patterns in front of X. It's called Ray Splasher, which, man, these weapons sound awesome, might I say. But, like, it's like a machine gun, so if you want to kill something really fast, you can use that weapon. Not bad. Not very situational, though. And although I'd love to talk about some of the really good weapons, there's just some weapons, like Gravity Hold, which you get from Gravity Beetle, that's just absolutely terrible. These are the kinds of weapons that you never use, maybe sometimes not even for weaknesses. This weapon holds enemies in place, and it manipulates gravity. It's really weird. It's good against Blast Hornet, but it's that kind of boss I just love to buster only. And then this is another weapon. It's like, whatever. But it's called, I'm pretty sure it's called Hornet Chaser. I keep forgetting this one's name. But you get it from beating Blast Hornet, and it holds on to enemies. So it's like an enemy lock. It locks onto enemies, and once it does, you can just walk right past them. Parasitic Bomb. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, it's good if you just don't want to deal with any of the enemies. That is the end of the weapons, which overall, yeah, I know it kind of seems like they're a mixed bag, and honestly, they are. Some of them are good, some of them are complete garbage, but, some of them are situational. So it's like, some of them are good, some of them are situational, and some of them are bad. I'd say for the ones that are good, they are pretty good. For the ones that are bad, they're bad. They are bad. And then for the ones that are situational, they're just situational. You never use them besides like a weakness or anything like that. Not because they're necessarily bad, but just because the buster does it better, which should not really ever be the case for a weapon, but I suppose it's hard to make all weapons good. Oh, here, you want something else to talk about? Something that everyone complains about. Those explosions, man. I really never thought they were that bad, but people just loathe all over them. They're like, oh, they're so long, and they're not that bad. They break up the pace a little bit, but that's just because, big enemy just defeated. Now he's going to explode for a few seconds and give you some more time to relax before you have to keep venturing on your journey. Perhaps I might just love this game so much to the point where I'm just trying to fight and stuff to, excuse the problems. But I don't know. I just never found that kind of thing so much of a problem for me, because they were in the previous games. X1 was a little shorter. X2 was just as long, and then here in X3, people complain, but not in the other two games. Why? Well, I have a main theory for this, and this is a theory I've had for a long time. This theory is a theory that I never see anyone else talk about in any of their Mega Man X3 reviews. That being that nostalgia is a very heavy thing. This game did come out in 1996 during a very irrelevant time for the Super Nintendo. The N64 had just came out, and it was the new hot thing everyone wanted, but no one was really coming back for the Super Nintendo. I suppose people just thought that the N64 was going to get a good Mega Man game. But I suppose that, as we might all know, it got one game, and it sucked. Mega Man 64. I'm not going to elaborate on that game. This is a Mega Man X3 review, not a Mega Man 64 game. I suppose it's fine if this dark atmosphere in this game just set people off a tiny bit, but, I didn't think it set people off this much. But like I said before, nostalgia is a heavy thing. This game has lots of problems that the other two X games has, and every review I see, I know it seems like such a small little thing, but it really isn't. Those explosions. No one talks about it in X2 or, hell, even X1, but they talk about it all the time in X3. I don't understand why. It's that, and also the music being really funky. People say it in X2, they're like, I really don't like this soundtrack. And it still has some bops. And then people are like, this soundtrack, Mega Man X3 soundtrack sucks. It's garbage. It's terrible. And then they go on to list several of the songs that they absolutely adore. Most notably, lots of people say Gravity Beetle, the opening stage, all sorts of songs like those. Which just asks me, why are people always contradicting themselves? But it really does just seem like it comes down to nostalgia at the end of the day. No one really does care about this game, especially compared to Mega Man X1, or hell, I'd even say compared to especially Mega Man X2, as that game's been getting some traction, especially from its original debut in 1994. But, I don't know, just X3 has a lot of problems, I get that. But problems doesn't make a game bad. Problems just show how the game can be better. And nostalgia is just the thing that I feel mainly ruins this game as a whole. Sorry I seem kind of camera shy. I'm not really camera shy, I just have the same problem as what Jay's review said. Go watch his video, by the way. This is his video is my main inspiration to why I make this one. But I don't know. Jay's review just really explains it perfectly, and I just feel like I'm not able to. He explained it in the way that he just can't explain this, how he feels about this game properly, because it means so much for him, and that's the same thing for me, honestly. I can't say that I don't feel the same way. Seemingly random transition here, but man, this section of Doppler Stage 2 sucks. It sucks so bad. This is the section with the snails, and you have to ride all the way up. It's so boring, and there's nothing going on, and you see the dark emptiness of the background. This sucks. This is genuinely the worst part of the game, and maybe the worst part of the X series. But who knows? Maybe I'm just biased to this game because it has my favorite song ever, which is playing in the background right now, Blizzard Buffalo Stage. Awesome music. I love it so much. Another problem people say they have is that the bosses and overall just enemies do way too much damage, especially compared to the other two games, which I just say, no, not really. Because you are equipped with the things that make you be able to take on those challenges. And the bosses have such easy patterns. For example, I'll show you Vile here. He's just showing up here, so he's going to say his little stuff, and then, yeah, here. Anyway, here we go. So you can see his pattern here. It's very back and forth. Very just back and forth. Nothing really else than that. So some of these boss patterns are really just repetitive and just nothing. That's until he gets into his second phase, where he gets out of his ride armor and starts fighting you fist to fist. Or I guess, not really fist to fist, but he starts fighting you. And then you run through his level while there's a timer, and if it reaches 0, you die. So it's kind of like the ending of Metroid, where you kind of just have to leave the planet to beat the game, really. Except this is not beating the game, this is just escaping his fortress. However, story-wise, if I haven't already explained it, Dr. Doppler came prepared. He made his own Mavericks, named Bit, Bite, and he also remade and gave the Mark II to Vile. So here's, for example, Bit. His weakness is Frost Shield or Triad Thunder. So here we're using, Frost Shield, my bad. And so now he's, again, very repetitive pattern, but the point is that this is Bit, his fight's easy. Yeah, he's just a fightable boss. He can show up in your 3rd, 4th, or 5th stage. And then we also have Bite here. This is what Bite looks like. He's really big, and funny enough, the text box actually cuts his face out. And I find this kind of funny. But yeah, him and Bit are pretty much best pals, and, you know, they're called the Knightmare Police. So if you have played X2 and you're ready to play this game, they're like the X-Hunters of this game. This guy can show up in your 6th, 7th, or 8th stage. Don't make a joke, or I swear to God. I'll go over a few other tad pits that I haven't mentioned already. Tad bits, not pits. Okay, so there are these things called ride armors, and what they are, they're these huge mechs. They were in the previous 2 games, except not as, well, unlike everything else, they weren't as, I guess, strongly implied to be used as in this game. In this game, there will be these platforms. If you walk on the platforms, you can get ride armors that you collect throughout the stages. Only problem is, if you collect the other 3 ride armors and you don't collect this armor, which is called Chimera, you don't get to use any of them at all, which is another not amazing, not good. It's a bad design, but, you know, like a bad game design, but I'm willing to put that off to the side because of the fact that everything else about this game is pretty good. I will not ignore it because it is a leading factor to why people don't like the game, and I'm open to hear that criticism. That's pretty fair. I don't love the fact that they did that. Here's us using the frog armor right now. You can see it in action. It's the only ride armor that actually works underwater, hence its name being frog. You'll see what we're doing here. We're going across the water, and then because there are these huge fans in Toxic Seahorse's stage, and the only way you can get past them is by using a fully charged I forget what it's called, Frost Shield to get out of the water, or you can use the ride armor to get out of the water and skip across the water to go get the hawk armor, I believe it is. I don't know which one's over here. The kangaroo armor, which we will see later in my special thing. My special surprise. This footage doesn't have it recorded, but you can also get the Z-Saber from Zero. Like, if you... Here, I'll try and find the mini-boss. Oh yeah, by the way, quick, the Z-Saber is in the stage. Just, this is what it looks like getting a ride armor, for anyone wondering, because I know there's some of you guys probably wondering. But there are the 4 ride armors. You get to select which one you want. They chose the kangaroo armor, and boom, that's what it looks like. If you come to here, though, with Zero, and you go into the boss door, you're able to fight this dragonfly mini-boss with Zero, which is weird, because, you know, without glitching him into the mini-bosses, you're not able to fight him any other way. So when you do eventually beat him with Zero, you'll see here, you actually get to use his Z-Saber with X. Sorry, the camera's kind of off there. Did not see that. But Zero gets battle damaged by the dragonfly. Kind of weird animation there. But, yeah, he gets battle damaged. X comes in and takes Zero's Z-Saber, as we might see. Here comes X. So he's like, oh, what was that explosion and all that? And then Here, boom, Zero says he sucks, and now you have the Z-Saber. I don't know if we'll see any footage of it here. I don't know if we will. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think we will. If not, then that'll just imply that you guys should play the game and get it yourself. Here it is. So you see that green flashing? That means you have it. So here it is. Yeah, did you see that little saber? That's Zero C-Saber. That is right. We have an official complete in box copy of Mega Man X3 for the Super Nintendo. I was going all out for this video. I knew this time was coming along, and hey, this is my favorite game of all time, so although expensive, I'll show that later. I was happy enough to pick this up, and after a years long of saving up for this, yeah, here it is. Here's a special surprise. Well, I was gonna open the blinds, but it's kind of dark outside, so I can do this like this. But yeah, here's Mega Man X3. Just put a comma right after that 1, for those who are like me and don't like reading large numbers. But yeah, here it is. Mega Man X3 for the Super Nintendo, complete in box. Here, I'll read the back for you guys. Okay, here, I can turn off the flash now, I suppose. Mega Man X3. X and Zero battle the Doppler effect. Mega Man X and his trusty partner Zero have a new force to reckon with. Who or what has caused a riot of Mavericks to break out in the experimental utopia known as Doppler Town? Named after the scientist Reploid, Dr. Doppler, Doppler Town was supposed to be a place where humans and Reploids could live in harmony. After discovering a virus that was turning Reploids to Mavericks, Dr. Doppler's antivirus is a big success. But out of the Maverick Hunters unit, the Doppler effect is about to unfold, with Mega Man X and Zero being the only cure for the deadly virus. Play as either Mega Man X or Zero, twice as many secret items to locate than any other Mega Man game. 16 megs plus the CX4 graphics chip adds to the enhanced realism, longer levels, and amazing 3D effects. Find the helmet part to use the air dash in 3 directions, up, left, and right, or search for the 4 robot armor. 4 different pieces make up an intense attack vehicle. That's kind of inaccurate. It just means the ride armors. They don't combine to make one. I don't know. This is kind of weird. And it's for 1 player. But yeah, then there's just some pieces of art on the back. Here's someone fighting Blast Hornet. This is actually a scrapped boss battle with Neon Tiger. His sprite looks different and his boss room is completely different. And then here's just some gameplay with Zero. So yeah, let's crack this bad boy open and see what it looks like on the inside. That sounded so weird. Here it is, though, in not in the plastic. Yeah, so I suppose here we go. It has moderate damage on it, but you know, this is the best I could find, and this is like one of the rarest physical games ever. So just don't mind the damage. Here, let me get it out. As most complete games, you have the box. You have the SNES tray with Mega Man X3 and the game dust cartridge in there. And then you have the manual. My manual is very beat up, as we will see, but I'm just going to go through it and read it. Here we go. Let's start. A special message from Capcom Entertainment. Yes, I do have the MMX3 OST playing on my boombox. A special message from Capcom Entertainment. Thank you for selecting Mega Man X3, the newest adventure in the Mega Man saga, following the success of Mega Man X2 and Mega Man 7. This continuing series of Mega Man X versus the Maverick Hunters, versus the Mavericks, includes Zero to once again bring excitement and action to your Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Mega Man X3 features the CX4 graphics chip. that had such an impact on the graphic effects in Mega Man X2. We at Capcom Entertainment are proud to bring you this thrilling new addition to your video game library. I'm not going to read all that because that's not as important. So here are our chapters for each part. You'll see the damage. That's not even the icing on the cupcake right there. This is just some steps and instructions, some more instructions. There's some art of X, controls. Here's where it starts. Unfortunately, the art of Zero has a lot of Sharpie on it. There's lots of Sharpie in this manual, but nothing you can do about it. I'm not too mad, because I can still read everything. Here's another example of the Sharpie, but again, nothing you can do, and nothing I'm too mad about. This game is so rare, I just couldn't care at all. This goes through all of the mechanics and all that. Here's where the damage really starts to become a problem here. But you have the Chimera armor, you have the Hawk armor, and never mind, it doesn't show the other two. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm skipping pages here because of the manual being cut. I think 15, yeah, 16, 17. So here we go. The description of each of the characters. I know, Sharpie, but again, what are you gonna do? Reploid, leader of the 17th unit, Maverick Hunters. His creation is shrouded in mystery. Nobody knows why he was built and then buried. Can X learn? X is famous among Maverick Hunters for leading it to its ultimate demise. Hunters for defeating Sigma twice and leading to its ultimate demise. X understands his role and believes deeply in the need to protect Reploids and humans alike, but he has an inner conflict about fighting and violence. Zero, to Mega Man's best friend and partner. His creation is a mystery as well, yet many rumors and much speculation have arisen. Recently destroyed to protect X, Zero has been revived to continue the aid he has offered X in the past. Once part of the 17th unit, Maverick Hunters, Zero now leads Special Number Zero class unit. Always cool and calm, Zero takes a quick action against the evil forces he hates so much. Dr. Doppler, a scientist Reploid created to support human in creation of Reploids. Equipped with a high-performance neurocomputer, Doppler was instrumental in determining... Sorry, man, I am so happy to be doing this review. I'm tripping all over myself. In determining the cause of the recent Maverick outbreak. Its antivirus was revolutionary and once again brought peace to the world. Reprogrammed to build a utopian world called Doppeltown, where humans and Reploids lived in harmony, it grew too quickly and became infected with the same virus it was believed to remedy? I can't... Again, so cutting is kind of a problem. Still, not too mad about it. Yeah, remedy. Okay, I was right. Doppler incited a new Maverick outbreak and created chaos in Doppeltown. It changed its computer body into one geared for battle, and gathered all the Reploids in its first move in war against humans. And then, finally, we have Vile. Once a top henchman for Sigma, Vile was destroyed at the hands of X and Mega Man X and Zero. When Doppler became virus-infected, its first move was to revive Vile. When Vile became infected with the same computer virus, it went completely nuts. Doppler could not control Vile. Vile went on a rampage and has become so stricken with hatred for Mega Man X and Zero, who knows what its intentions are. This explains more of, like, you know, passwords and options and stuff. And then we have the Mavericks. Blast Hornet, Lizard Buffalo, Gravity Beetle, Toxic Seahorse, Volt Catfish, Crush Crawfish, Tunnel Rhino, and Neon Tiger. And then the manual ends off with a few passwords. So obviously whoever had this manual was definitely having a fun time playing the game. But yeah, overall, really cool piece of Mega Man history, and I'm really happy to have it. And then, of course, we have our cartridge, which I actually have one cartridge to play and one cartridge to keep. So this is my inbox one, and then I'll show you. This all came as one package. Like, I did not make this a CIB. This all came in one thing. Like, this came with the box, this came with the box, because, you know, you can make a CIB where you just get different copies of the same game. Yeah, whatever. I can show you here, wherever it is. That's Mega Man X2, but I need to take it out to get X3. We have my playable cartridge, or both of them are playable. I play one and keep the others encased. So here's my played cartridge of X3, and now the one that I will indefinitely play all the time. Yes, I do have... Shit. Yes, I do have the Famicom cartridge. Why do I not have the European one? We'll get to that in a moment. Actually, right now. So, this game as a whole is expensive, no matter what route you take, besides the Famicom version. This version I could crack over my knee right now, and I wouldn't really care too much. This version, however, that's a different story. A loose cartridge can pay up around $300 to, in recent years, about $800 in really good condition. So, very, very scarce game. And then in box, oh god, the rabbit hole keeps getting deeper. In good condition, you can find cartridges in box for probably about $2,000. And in the best, most, perfect condition, I've seen some listings go for a little over $3,000. So if you want if you want this in good condition, oh man, you gotta pay up. I've even seen some sealed copies graded. They don't get much better. They've got like $6,000 tagged to them, but you know, who am I to judge? This is a really rare game, so yeah. I just absolutely had to make sure that I picked this copy up no matter what. And now it sits on my shelf perfectly like this. And I protect this thing so much that I keep a cloth on top of it. Oh, that's how it's supposed to be. I keep a cloth on top of it to make sure that no sunlight gets to it at all. So yeah, that's my special surprise. Actually, the surprises don't end there yet. We have one last thing. Very, very random, but we have a Nintendo Power Magazine. I have a bunch of these things, but here is a very interesting one. I just randomly found it one day. It was one I was looking for, but it randomly came into my game store. There it is, Mega Man X3. So how far is it into the book? Well, let's see. Got to get through all the Killer Instinct stuff. This is also pretty cool, but not the topic of today's review. And then, here we go. The Mega Man X3 section of the Nintendo Power Magazine. I'm not going to review the whole thing, because, you know, God help me. But, yeah, here it is. It has the box art flipped around. There's what that first Zero picture looked like without the Sharpie. Here's a bunch of other pictures, stage select, order in which you do them, bunch of tips, tricks, you know, Nintendo Power stuff. Here we go. Here's Neon Tiger stage, Gravity Beetle stage, Blast Hornets stage, Toxic Seahorses stage, Crush Crawfishes stage, Volt Catfishes stage, Blizzard Buffalo stage, Tunnel Rhino stage, and I believe that's it. There might be... Yeah, that's it. And then off to the side here, they have some more stuff. Just, you know, fighting bit, and then there's going through the Doppler Stage 1 Fortress, and then there's the PlayStation version, which we're actually gonna get to now. So in 1997, the year after Mega Man released worldwide, we got, in Japan, we got a version of Mega Man X3 that had anime cutscenes. I'm not going to spoil them. I'll let you guys watch them if you want. They're not great, but, you know, whatever. But the PlayStation version was a whole new story. It had an entire new soundtrack. It had anime cutscenes. It was crazy. It was insane. But yeah, the only way that you can really play it in modern day for English players is by playing it on the Mega Man X Legacy Collection for PlayStation 2. It came with the PlayStation version of X3, but the later versions of X3 release were just the American ones. So, like, for example, the Legacy Collection, the X Legacy Collection 1, has the SNES version of Mega Man X3. So, when you're wanting to play the PlayStation version, just keep that in mind. I think I may have mentioned it a little while back. This video is 46 minutes long, so I forget. But this game was actually created and outsourced to a different company called Minakuchi Engineering. They were responsible for creating the 4 out of the 5 Game Boy games, not Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy, the Mega Man The Wily Wars, and this game, most notably. I think I'm missing one other one, but I forget. And you can certainly feel it, let's just say. Now that I actually have the OST pulled up, you can really hear how metallic and guitar banging sounding everything is. But here's, you know, X3. Definitely very interesting box art. I'll get to the box art here now. But very interesting box art here. I personally think... sorry if that was flashbanging, but yeah, this is really an interesting box art. You have X, who looks perfect, might I say. He doesn't look like one-to-one to the game or whatever, but I love how he looks here. And then you have Blast Hornet, you got Gravity Beetle, Blizzard Buffalo, and from what I can tell, that guy in the back there, I'm pretty sure that's Tunnel Rhino. And then got Zero here. Gotta love Zero. With his hair kind of looking like a 3. You got Neon Tiger here, about to fight Zero. Zero's also trying to fight Crust Crawfish, and by the looks of it, Toxic Seahorse. You got this weird 90s sun behind the G. Yeah, I know. And then you have another sun behind Neon Tiger, so, like, it's kind of weird. But they're in front of Toxic Seahorse's dam, so that's pretty cool. This is a really good box art. I really like this. And then you got the logos, or the logo everywhere on the sides. And then we already took a look at the back. Actually, here, I'll take a little bit more in depth into that Neon Tiger picture there. But yeah. Fun fact, as I wrap up the video, I'm not done here, but... this is just one more fun fact while I have the game in box out. This game, during development, Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, he said he had actual nightmares letting Minakuchi Engineering make this game. He didn't like outsiders making Mega Man games. But yeah, this was it, I guess. He wasn't too mad after all. But yeah. That's all for this. The whole thing eventually concludes and comes to an end. And what does it end with? It ends with Sigma. By the way, this is what the CX4 looks like. It ends with Sigma saying he'll possess Mega Man X if he can get his hands on him. But, you know, oh no, Mega Man's doomed. He's gonna die. And, you know, he comes to the corner and he says, damn! Which is kind of weird because Mega Man never says damn. But then Sigma threatens that he will take over X and destroy the world. yeah, that's the end of the series right here. But then Zero comes in. In the canon ending, Zero comes in and stops Sigma from doing anything to X. And so Zero is practically like, he puts the vaccine to the Sigma virus on his Z-Saber, and that he got from Dr. Doppler. And now, it's time to die, Sigma. And so, yeah, that leads to the end, I suppose. As everything is starting to end very slowly. You don't get this ending if you kill Sigma with Dr. Doppler. But yeah, that's the end of Mega Man X3. And for me, I suppose some things never change. It seems kind of out of the blue to say, but Mega Man V, so the 5th Game Boy game, that used to be, my favorite game used to be Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and then I started playing retro games, which then made it become Mega Man 5 on the NES. Then I played the Game Boy games, and it became Mega Man V. But then I played this game, and I think it really clicked this time. Mega Man V was my favorite game for a little while, but now it's been over a year, and I still think this is my favorite game. Mega Man V and this game still butt heads, but overall, I can't say much besides I love this game. This game has gotten me through, like I've said before, some pretty tough times, and I'm happy that I've known it and played it to be able to forget those times. It's meant a lot to me, like Jay's review said, more than I can properly describe, and I really do love this game. 100%. And although I do see its problems and its flaws, its overwhelming successes just overpower the bad for me. And so, yeah, that's Mega Man X3. I'm happy to have played it, and I'm happy that it exists, I guess. But I suppose that is the end of this review. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Oh yeah, one last side note while I'm still here, if you can hear me. Sorry that I didn't edit this like a good video. My bad. I'm just like, I don't have an editor, and like I said, I have no editing experience at all. And, you know, this is due in 2 days, and this is like a really big thing for me, so I just, I kind of had to do it personally. But I guess that means there's no bull, and like I can say it exactly how I want to without a script, because I don't want it to be scripted. I want to say it how I feel it as I go along. I want to say it truthfully and make it not sound scripted, because although it's being scripted sounds better, for me, it isn't. But yeah, this is the end of the review, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this review if you have, and even if you didn't get this far, thank you for watching some of it. Goodbye.